It is quite difficult to imagine that not that long ago, playing video games was quite a niche thing to do. In fact, if you are looking for a golden opportunity to get bullied in my high school, being a geek and playing video games was the way to accomplish that endeavor because only a loser plays video games. On the other side of the world, in the land of the Amerikanski, every time there was a mass shooting, the mainstream media was summoned to solve the mystery of it, and every single time they would come to the conclusion that the reason for the violence was video games. We're talking about the era of Jack Thompson and religious fundamentals who thought that video games like Doom are murder simulators and that the military should get their hands on this shit. But being bullied and having people think that you're a closet Satanist, which might snap at any moment because you play video games, wasn't the worst of it. However, the big conundrum would arise once puberty hits. Because as the hormones were raging and the desire to save the white race intensifies, looking for female companionship became the top priority. Unfortunately, gamers quickly found out that not only girls were not interested in video games, but they would also think you're a loser for having such immature hobbies at the venerable age of 14, and when the fuck are you going to start to grow up and stop playing with these cartoons which are clearly meant for children. Now, as time moves on, more and more men start to play video games, much to women's dismay, and women are forced to stomach having a boyfriend that partakes in this unnatural activity. Now, this is a time where the internet, including YouTube, are filled with videos of women complaining and whining that their boyfriends don't give them enough attention, that memes are coming up showing this phenomenon occurring. And the more funny thing is videos such as this, where you can see girlfriends deleting their boyfriend's World of Warcraft account, as well as the boyfriend's reaction.
Okay, so my boyfriend just left to go to the store because he has to get smokes. And he thinks he's going to be raiding all night. But let's see about that. All he does is sit on this stupid computer and play this stupid game. And I'm getting sick of it. I'm gonna delete all his things. This one was his favorite. Okay, now let's see what his reaction is when he gets back.
Are you fucking... What the...
So that was a big issue back then. A problem that scientists had to solve. How can we fix relationships to save the white race? Apparently, men won't be able to stop playing video games, but maybe we can get women to play video games. Maybe we can get the ladies to partake in this activity so we can enjoy the hobby together. Well, turns out that no matter how much you try to get a girl to play video games, usually 90% out of times would fail. But there were a few girls here and there that did partake into the hobby. However, in my opinion, the ones that I met weren't very aesthetically pleasing at the time. So it was a question, between aesthetics and functionality. Usually, as a guy, I have to choose aesthetics most of the time. So you can see the kind of culture we're in. The kind of culture where this lady suddenly appears, and she claims she's a gamer, and she's got boobs and all, and she looks really good, right? But the problem is that she's going to start speaking, and when she starts speaking, you understand that this lady has a little bit of displeasure towards anything you like in video games. If it's something that you like in a video game, whether that may be the gameplay, the violence, maybe the eye candy, she doesn't like it. But not only she doesn't like it, she wants you to stop liking it as well. And this entire culture forms around this woman, where even the video gaming press are agreeing that video games need to be changed in order to please this woman, because you see, this woman speaks for all women. And if these changes are made, if we remove everything that guys like in video games, then obviously more women are going to start playing, and there's going to be hot video game girls everywhere. Like everywhere you go, you go to a bar, you will see a girl playing a video game. Now, as you can imagine, Anita Sarkeesian became quite popular. The video gaming press was talking about her, every single gaming forum was praising her. She even won the Video Game Ambassador Award. Like, she was a big shit. Like, she was the big thing. And with her came a lot of other suspiciously good-looking women at the time who were also joining the video gaming hobby. But what you would notice was that some of these ladies were straight up trying to sell you some shit. And usually that shit was in the form of a far leftist ideology. The idea was that video game forums have no place for people who are not far left if you want these pretty women to remain. And as video game forums wanted to have pretty women, they would eventually start kicking and banning people who disagreed. Furthermore, you would also have other women that would do it simply for the publicity. Usually they were celebrities that would play in various TV shows, or maybe they would sing in different bands. And by joining the video gaming scene, they would tune into an audience that wanted more women to play video games, and thus they would consume their products. As such, the video community split in two. One side, you have an army of men that are going to orbit around these ladies, defending and agreeing with everything they say, no matter how stupid that is. We'll get to that in a bit. While the other half are going to become more skeptical of these ladies, and they're going to say that they're fake geek girls. To which the army of defenders are going to say that there is no such thing as a geek girl, and simply mentioning this accusation is incredibly insulting because these poor ladies have had to go through their entire lives having to prove their existence and yada yada. To which the skeptical people started digging into these ladies' past, eventually uncovering a very interesting and damaging video towards patient zero, Anita Sarkeesian.
I'm doing video games. So it's not exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games. I actually had to learn a lot about video games in the process of making this.
So after seeing that video, any normal person would say, alright, case closed. This woman claimed to be a video gamer, had a Kickstarter where she got over $150,000 in order to talk about video games. And this clip shows her in the past saying that she never played video games, so clearly she lied about the core thing that made her famous. But just so you can understand the culture of 2014, just so you can understand the grasp of the people defending these women, I will play a clip from Internet Aristocrat reading a comment from a video gaming forum talking about this particular issue.
And this is a brilliant one. Snorkel, of course. Okay, so first up, I'm not a fan of games or anything, but I can't even do it. The second sentence is I'm a gamer. I'm a female gamer, of course. I'm not even gonna do, snorkels. But what really floors me about this one is the third paragraph. So while it's clear that this Anita person is not being honest in all these interviews, I'd actually pick the one where she says she's not a gamer in front of a bunch of her peers to be the lie. Bravo, Snorkel. I mean, this level of stupidity it's in a category of its own. If being a dumb motherfucker were an Olympic event, you would hit the gold. I mean, Reebok and Nike would be having you do commercials, Snorkel. That's how fucking retarded you are.
It's quite hard to grasp the levels of insanity, isn't it? It is bewildering to look back into the time and realize how insane people were. And it's not only that. It's not the insanity, because it's fine. You can laugh at people that are stupid. But bringing up the fact that Anita Sarkeesian was a fake geek girl, or that any other of these popular ladies were there with other purposes, would get you banned from various video gaming communities. Entire websites would kick you off their forums if you even mentioned this. It was so ridiculous that articles in the media, in the gaming media, started popping up attacking gamers for having the audacity to believe what's in front of their eyes, to believe the video where Anita Sarkeesian says that she's not a real gamer. And obviously this infuriated a lot of people, and eventually it led to the cultural phenomenon which is Gamergate. But that's a story for another time. Right now, I want to talk about Anita Sarkeesian and where she is at. So this woman who started her entire campaign on a lie, who managed to get millions of dollars in donations, both from corporations like Intel, as well as from people who legitimately believe that she was being oppressed in the gaming community just for being a woman. She started her entire thing with this picture. Now, every single normal gamer will tell you that this picture is horseshit. I mean, she is playing everything. Like, every single game under the sun she was playing. Most gamers usually pick one or two genres that they play. Maybe sports games and car games, or maybe FPS and strategy. This woman plays everything. She plays from strategy games to platformers to car games to sports games. Like, every little game, every imaginable is there. And it looks like that extra effort, it's like, hey, look at me, I'm a gamer, as it's coming off, in order to get $158,000 in a scam. Now, the reason there are so many videos on this topic and just so many articles about Anita Sarkeesian is that it was so obvious what she was doing, but you were lucky if you didn't get kicked or banned in 2014 for any video gaming website or Reddit just by mentioning this. And what was even worse was that people who were in her clique, like the army of men surrounding her and defending her, would not believe any sort of evidence that you would show them. So people thought that, maybe if they bring more evidence, maybe if they find out more arguments, people will be convinced and persuaded otherwise. I guess in a way is the definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing hoping for different results. But as time passed, she sinked into becoming more and more irrelevant. I think it's the fact that she broke up with her partner, Jonathan McIntosh, which actually led to her fall. So she comes up with this. If someone had a giant collection of Xbox 360 and PS4 games, plus a handful of PlayStation 2 and Wii, and wanted to get rid of them or to donate them, how and where would one go about doing that? Also, a few older consoles. Tips, please. So, as a hardcore video gamer, she really doesn't know what to do with old games. This is completely bewildering for her. And it's going to take into account in another line that she's going to say. A gentleman by the name of Body Wolf, responds to her. I believe it's customary at this point to post a picture of said giant collection. And I thought someone is going to troll her. And if no one is going to troll her, I will. And I will just post the picture with her backing. But guess what? No, that's not the case. She's going to post it herself. Like, she just, like, the audacity of this woman. Or the lack of self-awareness. I don't know which one to pick. So this is just some of it. And it's like, well, okay, so you know, for this passionate gamer, this little girl that raised herself with the controller in her hands is now just giving away her entire console collection. Isn't that getting a tear rolling down the cheek? Now, of course, a lot of people pointed out, it's like, oh, see, we were right. You know, a lot of people felt validated that all the struggle to dig up information and to prove reasons that, look, she was lying all this time, right? Like, she wasn't a real gamer. A lot of people felt validated that they're looking now over the years and it's like, ha, I was right. But no, see, she came out and actually explained what's going on. It is hilarious and predictable that my mentions are full of dudes feeling vindicated in their crusade that I'm not a real gamer because we are getting rid of previous generation console games. You know, as in very not new games because we are moving Okay. Sure, Anita. Sure, absolutely sure. You have to get rid of all of them at once. Like, you couldn't get rid of them up till now. You couldn't get rid of them when the new consoles happened. Now, you have to do the damage control. Absolutely. But what I love is, like, the absolute disgust that she's treating some of these games. It's like, can't get rid of this real game for real gamers. LOL. It's like, look, she clearly does not enjoy these games. Like, she is clearly not into them. Why is she so disgusted with it? Like, why didn't she buy them in the first place? But I don't know. I found all of this to be incredibly hilarious, and the music. Yeah, well, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Also, just have to point this out. Art dismantles power, and I am really smart, and I'm really good at what I do, and you should fucking listen to me.